Now that you know more about Nest Home Lending, let's start to address how you'll integrate selling Nest services to your potential buyers. We're not going to cover all of the guest presentation training in this particular video. However, we will pick up at the point where you would bring Nest into the conversation. Remember, we don't want to push away a customer with too many budget and lending questions up front. Warm up to where your buyer is in the interest chain. Talk about their wants and needs. Find out if they've built a new home before. Cover their motivations and interests. Once you reach the lifestyle philosophy statement, you'll discuss how no two families are the same, and we all have different lifestyles and financial needs. This transition very gently brings up the topic of budget. This is where we start to identify key feedback that will help you qualify the buyer. Let's take a look at the following buyer and seller scenario to see this discussion in action.
So I know that you guys just moved into the area and you're looking to purchase your first new home. Can I ask you what concerns that you guys might have?
Well, there are a lot of options, and we just want to see what choices we have with location and floor plan and see what fits our needs the best.
I honestly feel a little bit overwhelmed by the price of new homes these days. What's realistic, what we can afford, it's all kind of scary.
Yeah, of course. I mean, budget is definitely something to take into consideration. We'll show you homes that fit into your budget. Every family is different, of course. So have you guys thought about an ideal monthly payment?
Let's pause here. Notice that the sales agent doesn't pounce on credit score or lender questions just yet, but asks if they have an idea. Find out about how educated your buyer is and get them to push some of the financial figures forward to avoid scaring them off. Keep the conversation gentle, open, and two-sided. Now pretend that you're a little further through the guest presentation and you've discovered needs, wants, and lifestyle information. You have more detail to circle back on the qualifying questions around budget. Let's take a look.
So you mentioned that your budget is around $300,000. Do you have a monthly payment that you're comfortable with or ideal range?
Well, I was thinking around $2,000, maybe $2,500 a month.
I'd like to stay closer to $2,000 a month.
Well, that certainly covers you for a $300,000 home. Have you guys researched any lenders or have one in mind?
Well, my dad recommended a mortgage company, but I kind of want to just find a house first.
Totally understand. And since you guys are looking to move soon, do you have an idea of your overall credit rating? Say from a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being awesome, do you know where you guys land?
I'd say a 7 maybe. We both have student loans, so I'm not sure how that will impact us, and we don't have a lot of money to put down.
Well, first, I'm glad to hear that your dad has a great lender, but I'd like to introduce you to our in-house preferred lending company, Nest Home Lending. Now, Nest offers everything any other mortgage company does, but their main difference is they walk you through every step, educating you along the way. And they keep the process easy. They know our homes, our processes, and they really help us become a one-stop shop. Our communications and systems integrate, so they know the stage of your home every step of the way. I think our buyers really enjoy that aspect.
Well, I'm not really partial to one lender yet. I really want to find a home first.
Sure, no problem.
Let's stop there. As you can see, we're in conversation mode with the buyer, gently asking and building on information as we go along about Nest Home Lending. We've now seeded the Nest Home Lending name in our dialogue, and we'll bring it back up once we find a house that the buyer's ready to move forward with.
So what did you think? Which home feels like the best fit?
The Palmer. It feels modern, not too big, and has a great main floor for entertaining.
And I really like the smart space, and I think it's in our price range.
Yeah, the Palmer is a great fit, and for all the reasons that you guys stated. So we can move you into a designer showcase home. We'll have one ready in about 2 months.
I think we do it.
Yes, agreed. So how do we start? Do we need to sign a contract or something?
Yes, but we have to get you pre-qualified first. Now you recall I mentioned our preferred lender, Nest Home Lending. You can still use the lender of your choice, but we prefer you start here. Once we have approval, you can sign the contract and officially get you into this beautiful home.
Let's stop. Did you notice that? We want to encourage every single potential buyer to pre-qualify through Nest Home Lending before a contract is signed. Pre-qualification is a very important step in the lending process at Oakwood Homes. Take note.
Okay. How long does the application process take?
Minutes. We'll pull it up on my computer, ask you a few questions, get a response, and then get started on your contract. I'll have them give you a call after we finish our paperwork to get started. I can also leave you with a brochure that explains their services and really shows how Nest takes the guesswork out of the lending process. Nest keeps it easy for us.
Okay, sounds great. I'm the reader in the family, so I'll look it over.
From here, we work with the Nest Home Lending loan consultants and hand off the buyer once they've decided to work with Nest as their preferred partner, and only if they're pre-qualified. Note that if a buyer isn't qualified, we'll encourage them to work with our Home Buyers Club and capture their home sale at a later date. We want to see every dream of home ownership come true. Nest Home Lending will have a very specific and process-oriented task flow that they'll work through with the buyer, from pre-qualifying to processing, underwriting, inspections, and finally to closing. They manage all final documents and keep in touch with the buyers in Oakwood to manage and maintain a smooth transition of product and services. Here's a list of the 3 main stages your buyers will go through with Nest Home Lending that they may have questions about initially. When selling, there are 3 easy steps to keep it concise and simple for the buyer. First, at application. Buyers will provide a copy of their initial documents, such as pay stubs, bank statements, tax returns, W-2 forms, or 1099 forms. Second, at 90 days from application, buyers will provide a copy of their canceled earnest money and design center checks, along with the bank statements from the previous 2 months. At 60 days before closing, buyers provide updated bank statements, pay stubs, and other documents needed for final loan approval. Besides the 3 steps to closing, also keep in mind the topic of earnest money. When your buyers use Nest Home Lending, we'll decrease the required earnest money to secure their home purchase. This dollar amount will vary per division, so please check with your sales manager and leadership team on the terms around earnest money and option inducement fees. We hope the information today and the role-play scenario was helpful. Obviously, true life scenarios can take many paths. But regardless, we want you to feel confident in your lending partner to help make each contract a sale on closing day. Stay tuned for future lending-related training videos and marketing materials that will help your customers in their journey to home ownership. Thank you for watching today, and we hope you're excited to have an in-house preferred partner on your side.